Her hair. It's weird when you can see.
I know, it's so weird. Oh, okay. Click this button to share.
Like that, I think that's better.
Oh no, I do not want to share my screen with my audience. Okay, I think we're live.
Oh.
Ah!
I'm like checking my hair.
Check your hair, Nina. I mean, honestly, this is okay. I think we're good. Okay. Having this be like our first live stream is kind of cool and kind of like, oh, it's our studio. This is us live streaming. Cheers with our coffee to our live stream. Okay.
Coffee chat.
Coffee chat. Okay, so today we're going to talk about property management. It's a thing. It's funny.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. But it's a thing that not a lot of people talk about. Not a lot of real estates talk about it. There's not a lot talked about property management in general.
Yes.
Everyone just knows that there are rentals, but there's always the company behind the rental taking care of those properties.
That's true. And that's a really good point. When I first started doing large scale property management, because I'd been managing properties for our family and for myself for about 15 years. But when we started doing on a larger scale and taking on investors and things like that, I did find that it was hard to find even podcasts or anything where people talk about property management. There's not much out there.
No.
Like I was like trying, because I'd always managed for us, but I was like, okay, I want to manage for other people now. How do I do it? Let me ask the internet. Oh, the internet.
This is before ChatGPT, by the way. This is before AI was around to tell us.
This was a while ago. Not to age us, but anyways, I remember I found some random podcasts basically about horror stories of property management, but there was hardly anything about how does it work? What do you do? How do you interact with people? So anyways,
I'm glad that we're doing this. People can get a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of data, and
maybe we'll probably just tell horror stories though, because
probably
that's the fun part.
I know.
Right?
Oh, that is my dog.
Helix is throwing up.
You can talk to people. I'm gonna go remove him.
Helix is having. Why? He's a handsome, pukey potato.
Yeah, I'm going to say hi, and then I'm gonna move him back. So this is Helix. He's wonderful. He's having allergies, so he sounds like he's coughing up a hairball.
He's okay.
I know.
I think you should stay.
I'll be back.
Okay. Goodbye.
Entertaining.
Oh, I'm entertaining now.
Okay. Oh my gosh. How's your sign language going?
Good.
Good job. Okay, so back to property management.
I have to finish now. I'm almost there.
Awesome. I'll just wait. Don't mind me. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay, so kind of basics of property management. We actually use Buildium. We use a service called Buildium. I think that sets us apart from some property management companies where everything is online and,
it provides a winner's portal. I have a love-hate relationship with Buildium, so you're not going to get me just like singing its praise right now.
Yeah.
It does a pretty good job, and they have done a good job of I complain about a lot of things.
Yeah.
To Buildium property management.
Oh, I just thought in general. I just thought you complained about a lot of things in general, because I was going to agree with you.
I'm a butterfly. But no, I send them a lot of emails about ways they need to fix their system, and they have.
Yeah.
There's a delay on it, but they do fix stuff, so they do listen to their customers, and it has gotten a lot better over the past couple of years. I do think that it is invaluable to have a system like that. I still don't like their reports.
Yeah.
But I do all of those separately. But you have to have that system, because that's how you keep track of everything, especially once you start to get big. You just have to have a system that keeps track of everything and lets you know when leases are popping and lets you send out e-signatures and does all the maintenance requests, and I can send them out to vendors and makes all that really easy. It's a great process.
Send invoices to owners, pay them,
pay the owners,
important things,
receive tenant payments.
Yeah, it makes it easy. I also love that with our company, we don't even though we're called lock and key rentals, we actually don't use traditional locks and keys. We use electronic locks because it's so much
kind
easier.
of a big joke that we don't actually use keys, and our company has key as one of the 3 words.
Yeah, it's true, but it's just the smart thing to do, because if you have a giant ball of keys on your desk, you're not really organized, are you?
It's insane. Like once you get multiple properties, the keys just grow so fast.
Your key bowls. So I mean, we do have keys, but just the master key,
the actual key bowls sometimes when we take over properties. Like,
oh my gosh!
One time it was a fish bowl.
The horror
of unlabeled keys.
That just, my blood pressure just like rose.
I was like, does this just go straight to the trash? What do we do?
Oh my god!
I'm gonna check 300 keys.
So what's your favorite thing about managing properties?
Just definitely some of the relationships I built. Mm-hmm. I like talking to people most of the time. And I have a fun time helping people find a place that they love, and it's going to be their home. Like, that's one thing that you forget, I think, when you get more large scale property management wise, is it starts to feel like it's all commodities. But this is actually people's homes. This is where they live. Yeah. They make their lives there. You know, I see their garden gnomes and come, and they come in to pay their rent, and we chat about, the landscaping they've done. And I love that part. I really do enjoy dealing with the tenants that I've built relationships with over the years and help them, move. And maybe they have another baby, and I help them move to a new property and stuff like that. It's just fun.
You like watch their lives.
I do. I get to be kind of a little part of their lives, and I think that's cool.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, what's the thing that you dislike the most?
People. The total opposite end of it is the people that are not nice. A lot of people come into the relationship with a landlord expecting there to be animosity already, and so they bring it in. They bring in their past upsets and attack me full force. And sometimes I'm just like, come, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I've heard some of those phone conversations.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, and a lot of times when we take over properties from a management company that wasn't maintaining them well and wasn't doing a good job. So people come in already upset.
Yeah, they're already mad.
And I have to.
They're expecting bad service.
They're expecting me to be nasty to them.
Yeah. I think that's actually hilarious hearing, because we work in the same office. So I'll hear, and I can hear the full-on screaming coming through the phone to her. And she's just like, well, I am so sorry that you were so upset. She's like so nice. Like, I don't know if I could be this nice. But you were like, no, you were just like, I am so sorry I can hear the upset in your voice. I completely agree. And you're so calm and nice. And then they kind of calm down, and then it all, like, they realize, oh snap, this is not the same person. Oh wow, she's really nice. She is like the nicest person in the universe, by the way. So it's always like such a surprise to me not surprised, but it's fun to hear their voice change after they realize that you're not just going to dismiss them, and you actually care. You actually care.
And I enjoy that when that works out that well. Sometimes people just want to be angry forever.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy that part, and it is difficult. It is hard to empathize when someone is just attacking you.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Like, you've never even interacted with the person, and the very first thing they do is just attack you.
Yeah.
So it is something that takes, I think, just years of learning of how to just empathize and take a deep breath and realize that they're upset at the situation and not you.
Yeah.
And try and work with them to figure out. And I'm just really honest with people. And that's something that I've stuck with.
Also very, very smart. Not a lot of people are.
And that's always been something I've been passionate about since I started in this, is if you sugarcoat anything at all, or you try and talk up a residence beyond the truth, it's going to come back at you tenfold.
Yep.
So, like, I don't tell people, oh yeah, we'll fix everything. We're going to make everything perfect. I tell them, okay, well, we're going to see what's wrong and prioritize the most important things first, because that's just realistic.
Yeah.
And you have to do that, because if you tell people you're going to fix everything, then they're just They're angry because you didn't fix everything.
That's so interesting that you said that, because one of the first things that my mentor, my husband, taught me about real estate, and honestly, it's always carried me through every situation, and it's probably one of the many reasons why I'm so successful. Is one of the very first things he taught me is, Eva, always be 100% honest with your clients, with your title company, with everyone, because there is nothing that can happen to you negatively if you just tell the 100% complete truth about everything, And so it's funny, because I'll get these clients that have had bad situations or experiences with other real estate agents. And, I'm showing them a house and we walk through it and they're like, oh, well, blah, blah. I'm like, nope, you don't want to buy this house because this is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible. And this is terrible. Yeah. Let me show you this other house that's less expensive, but it's better. And I'll show you why. And the look of just like, what? Or, we're in an inspection and we get the inspection report back. And I'm like, you need to walk away from this house. And they're like, but we don't want to. And I'm like, but you need to. Yeah. And this is why. And that complete honesty, it may lose you money in the short term, but that's how I have clients that come back over and over and over again, because they know that I'm never going to puff something just to make money, because it always bites you in the butt. Always.
And that brings up a point that I just want to bring up, because this is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I hear this all the time. What you said about how you talk to the person about the home inspection.
Yes.
So people always say stuff to me like, well, how did this pass home inspection? I'm like, home inspection is not a pass-fail. You have to read the report they give you.
It's true. You have to read it.
Someone has to read that report, because they give you a giant report with every single major character flaw or thing that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just never look at that. Or maybe the real estate agent.
I go through mine with my clients with a fine-tooth comb.
And I think a lot of real estate agents don't.
Yeah.
So people just think, okay, well, I got a home inspection report. No one told me not to buy the house. And then they come back later and they're like, well, all these problems were at the house. How did it pass inspection? There's no such thing as passing inspection. The inspection just tells you what is there.
Yeah. No, I
read your home inspection report.
Also, have your real estate agent, like what I do,
is have your agent look at
price.
them.
I'll put a number to each repair, like just from my general knowledge, and I've done so many remodels at this point that I can be like, this is going to cost you this much. This is going to cost you this much. This is going to cost you this much. To the point where they see exactly an idea, an approximation of how much money something will cost. And then I even say, and if this is a problem, it could have been caused by this, which is an even bigger problem, and that could cost this.
Yeah.
So it's like, and
that's just
full disclosure just makes everyone happy. And can it scare a client a little bit in the beginning? Of course. But you have to know
the home buying is scary.
It is scary.
And you have to go into it knowing no matter what, it's a gamble. A brand new build can still be a gamble.
You just have to have a good agent or a good property manager, even though I pointed opposite. Good agent, a good property manager to, hopefully lead you in the direction that you pick a good one.
Yep.
So anyway, moving on.
We digress.
We did digress. That was a digression.
That's
okay.
Fine.
So what's some advice for someone who, we're going to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
What's some advice for someone who maybe owns a property or wants to buy an investment property and is thinking about getting a property manager? Why should they or why should they not? What's a pro and a con?
Okay, so I would say there's a lot of pros of having a property manager, and I'm not just saying that because I do it.
Yeah, there's cons too.
There are cons. There are cons, but I would start with the pros because the pros are that a property manager, they work for the owner.
Yes.
So I think it's a common misunderstanding that property owners or property managers work for the tenants. We are the via between the tenants and the owners, but we work for the owners. So our job is to make you the biggest return on your investment possible. So everything we do is to not only make sure that your property is well maintained, but also to make sure that you are getting market value rents, that you have high quality tenants, that you
and that if for some reason a tenant is not treating the property well, we're on the ball catching it before it gets bad.
Because we're in there, mowing outside and we see that they're burning trash in the backyard. And so, those are the things you might not see if you're not there watching your property.
Yeah.
And then also, what was I saying? I lost track.
Pros and cons. Like that. Yeah, we work for the owners.
Yes. So we work for the owners. Oh, and just maintenance wise.
Yes.
And
maintenance done.
Maintenance gets done
regularly.
We have a whole crew of maintenance people who are waiting for tasks.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Actually. And we get them at very reasonable rates because we give them so much work. Whereas if you hire some handyman off the internet, A, you probably didn't background check him. Right?
Off the internet.
I know you didn't background check him. B, we do. Yes. B, you don't know what he's going to charge you.
It's true.
I know exactly what my maintenance guys are going to charge us for everything.
And at this point, if we have to use someone new, you know what a good price is. You want to ship.
Yes. So if they're trying to come at me saying they want to charge,
I just said it.
She told me not to cuss.
Sorry.
And she did it. But I know if someone comes up and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll trim those hedges for $600." Yeah. No, you won't.
$600.
Literally, that's what someone said.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I'm gonna go get some more coffee.
Okay, but and our vendors, I work with them all the time, so they get to our jobs really fast. Oh my gosh. He was naked. I'm just kidding. So they get to our requests right away because we're constantly giving them requests. I'm nice to them, so they like working with us. I'm a nice person. I deal with the people.
She's the nice sister.
Jump to conclusions, Matt. Dating myself.
Oh gosh, it's such a good movie though. TPS reports.
Yeah.
Spreadsheets.
So yes. That's why I would say, and then the con would be.
Tell me some cons.
It costs money.
It does cost money.
It's expensive. I mean, it's not expensive, but it's a percentage.
Yeah. We charge 7.5%.
Nah, we raised the rates. We don't listen to her. We charge 8.5%.
We charge 8.5%.
Yes. And then we charge even more for short-term rentals.
True.
So like Airbnbs or 1 month minimum rentals.
But man, you are just, I remember when you first took on the first Airbnbs and you were a little nervous about it.
I was so nervous.
But man, Nina, you're killing it.
I love them. They're so fun. Every once in a while, one of the people makes me mad. But besides that, I love it.
I mean, that's most people.
It's true. It's just life.
So so the cons, I would say, yes.
It costs money.
But so you make less money every month.
You don't, though, if you think about it, because you're saving money on the maintenance and the vendors that we hire. And we are getting your rents up to market rate, which you might not be able to do yourself because you don't have the knowledge and experience to do it.
It's true.
And you might not even know what market rent is.
Yeah. Honestly, I've never met a investor who has decided to not have a property manager after experiencing the services.
We've had a couple that decided to take them on themselves after they'd worked with me for learned how to do it. Years. And we're like asking me a million questions. And then we're like, okay, I think I'm going to venture off on my own. And I was like, hey, onward to glory. You do you. I am fine. We have plenty of properties. I am not going to fight anyone to keep their property, to be honest.
And if someone, they learns it.
It's like every 6 months I tell Eva no more properties. We're capped.
And then I keep giving her more.
And then she's like, oh, okay, well, here's 75 doors.
Here's 75 more doors. Sorry.
Stop it. Stop it. It's fine.
So on to the reason people
50
actually
and 250 are basically the same thing.
On to people to what people actually care about hearing horror stories. So I can see that people are watching. There are 3 people watching, which I'm amazed by this, but I actually don't know how to see.
I thought we were just talking to ourselves.
I mean, I kind of thought we were just talking to ourselves too. I don't know. Now it's down to 1. Scared them away. I don't know how to see who's watching though, so we'll have to figure that out at some point. But if you are watching, comment in a chat so we know who you are. Why not? Okay, so horror stories of property management. It's so funny. I tell you all the time at the office, like, before I got into real estate, I thought that I was going to be like this, like luxury real
Oh
estate
my
agent,
gosh.
like,
Yes.
luxury. And
She was like,
honestly,
I'm so glamorous.
90% of the time I'm walking through roaches and dog poop.
Please.
Oh, bed bugs.
We haven't had that many bed bugs.
We haven't had that many bed bugs, which is
but
nice.
we've had a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. So, horror stories of property management. I mean, the one that's one of my favorites is Naked Guy.
Oh, Naked Guy.
I actually think of him fondly.
I know.
Oh, Naked Guy.
I thought the same thing, and I don't know why. Something morphed in our brain where we became endeared by Naked Guy.
It was kind of weirdly, grossly endearing. So he was a very large man. He was very large, and it was a group of quadplexes that we took over to manage. And he was leaving at the end of his lease.
Yeah, well, his lease was over. He was
that's right. It was month to month.
We always try to like not just straight up kick people out.
No,
when
never.
we take over it. Obviously, you can't for legal reasons,
Yeah.
anyways. But we still go beyond the legalities and try and give people,
lots of time,
options for staying short term, things like that. So that's what we had done with him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he put in a lot of maintenance requests.
He did.
And every time maintenance would show up,
our maintenance man is, all of them are not bad looking.
Yeah, we do.
Not bad looking.
We end up with attractive people.
They're attractive maintenance men.
He's always naked when they got there.
Fully full frontal naked. And he would stand and be like, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
He was surprised they were there, even though he'd called us to sit in maintenance.
Oh, Naked Guy.
He was so naked.
He was a hoot. Well, the very first time I showed the property to the person who ended up buying it, I think maybe he was just a nudist, because we told him that we were going to be there and I was going to be there to show the property. And we walked in and he was fully naked. He's like, "I didn't know you were coming today." And I was like, "Well, I texted you 20 minutes ago."
Because he'd always pretend he didn't know. So there was something there.
I know you're going to be here. Here's my weenus.
It was all a ploy for people to see his privates.
Oh, Naked. See, that one's not even bad, because I weirdly remember him fondly.
I don't know
so
why.
Strange. I don't know why.
He wasn't a bad guy.
But same with Cat Guy. He was so sweet.
He was nice, but
he said he had no cats.
He had like 30.
That was the worst smelling apartment I've ever been in.
And
I've been into a lot of them. That was the
everything
worst
had
smells. And I don't have any cats.
I don't have any cats. They're like crawling behind him like cockroaches.
I have no cats. Well, there's a cat right there. That's not mine.
Those are my cats.
Those are my cats.
Those are neighborhood cats.
Well, there's a cat box in the corner.
That's a neighborhood cat box.
A neighborhood cat box. But there's cat food on your shelf. It's not my cat food. I don't know where that came from.
The last tenants left it there.
They left it here. I didn't buy that.
Even though it's been there for like 10 years.
Oh, but see, again, endearing.
Yeah.
Weirdly endearing.
Yeah. These aren't even the horror stories. These are just the funny stories.
The zoo. Did you go in the zoo?
I never went in
the zoo. So we called it the zoo because there was like chickens and cats and dogs and ducks and pigs that lived in the house, but they weren't pets. The zoo.
Like, have you heard about Miley Cyrus?
No.
Apparently her house. Her like mansion is like a zoo, and she pays her employees to like they all have like, no matter what your job is, if you're staff at Miley Cyrus's mansions, this is the internet told me this.
Gosh.
Their job is to clean up the cat poop and pee and to not say anything.
No.
The cats, all the animals just poop and pee everywhere, and the staff just follow them around and clean it up. And they're paid to not say it's gross.
Miley, that's gross.
That's gross,
Miley.
That's gross.
Train your pets. Hire someone to train your pets. You're rich.
When she has like all sorts, it's like a zoo. There's like pigs and chickens and just random things.
They're not supposed to live in the house, though,
running around,
unless
pooping
they have
and peeing everywhere.
Diapers.
And like the staff that have left talk about how it smells so bad.
Oh gosh, can't do it. That was like the zoo. Speaking of feces, poop. I think that's the one thing. You know what?
That is the worst part of my job. Let's go back to the worst part of property management.
People poop on they dump their cat
litter boxes
out.
They just dump the litter box when they move out because they're mad.
Yeah. Or the one time that someone actually I'm pretty sure it was a man from the sides, but maybe it's a female. I don't know. You get it, girl. Defecated in the middle of the living room floor, like a big old human dookie.
By the way,
like they just left it there.
These are not our tenants. These are tenants of when we take over properties and there are already tenants there.
And we have to remove them.
And we have to remove them because they're always on expired leases.
They're violating.
Violating the lease. They're violating their lease. Normally, they don't have a pet agreement. And the owners are wanting to renovate. Mm-hmm. So that being said, even in the nice units, I have to deal with poop because people are terrible about cleaning up their dog poop. And do you know that like 90%?
Hey, Adam Page, Angelica's husband. He's in Spain. Hi, Adam. Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel so special. Someone's watching us.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
When you gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Most of like the worst interactions I have to deal with are about people not cleaning up their dog poop. And then other people get mad. And then dog poop wars happen. And people start like packing up dog poop and leaving it on other people's doorsteps. And I get angry calls at like 2 a.m. because there's like a bag of dog poop on their door. Or they throw it at each other. And these are in like nice properties. Can you imagine being $14 a month and you're like throwing poop at each other? Just clean up your dog poop. I don't want to hear about it every day.
And just the fact that grown adult humans are throwing
poop
dog poop at each other.
Poop. Packaging. They package
They
the
pick
poop.
it up, they put it in a bag, they put a bow on it, and they put it on the front porch.
This is why people do no pet leases. I'm telling you. I'm so close. You're all getting kicked out. No dogs.
Well, the thing that's funny to me that, I was really annoyed. I was mad at the poop in the living room. But what actually made it funny is I just pictured the person who left like squatting in the living room and how awkward that would have been.
Just standing there in their glory.
and they're all together.
I like to imagine that they still had like the top clothes on. So they took all the bottom clothes off. Just for fear of getting poop on their pants or their shoes.
Oh, this has gone downhill fast. Yep. Oh, Lord.
What is the proper outfit to poop on a floor at an apartment you're leaving?
I don't know. That's a great question. We'll have to use AI and chat GTP that later.
Let's ask AI.
Let's ask. But yeah, I think, we've had some pretty bad hoarding situations.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
The hoarding situations
that just makes me sad because it's a mental illness.
There's a mental illness involved. To a degree where we had one property where she had such a strong mental illness that we took this property over and we knew that there was a hoarder in one of the rooms and she had filled the space so bad, but she called us saying that her refrigerator wasn't working. So we sent our guy over.
Was this the fridge?
Oh my gosh. So we sent our appliance guy over to see why the fridge wasn't working, and he had to like dig through to get in there. He said he opened the fridge and 10,000 roaches spilled out. And she couldn't see them. She literally couldn't see them.
Yeah.
She was unaware that they existed. It was so sad.
It's so sad. Yeah. That's, the hoarding situations, like, it's just sad. It's horrible for us to take on because it's such and I feel bad for the owners.
And a lot of times
they're
very sweet people.
Very sweet people.
A lot of the hoarders we've had have just been, they kind of break your heart because they're so nice and they just don't even see it.
They don't. And it's so bizarre too. Though this is a funny story about a hoarder, but I didn't know the hoarder. We bought a hoarder house to clean up because we drove by this house every day and we saw it being auctioned off on, the steps of the courthouse. And Will and I bought it because we're like, listen, this is on the drive to my house. I'm tired of looking at this house. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So we bought it, emptied it out. And it was like 42 tons of trash. Oh, geez. It was remember that?
Yeah.
Like,
was this the suitcase?
So the guys who cleaned that house out, we gave them fair, like, whatever you find is yours. It's yours.
They don't want that suitcase.
Like, take it. They found some cool stuff. Tons of records, like 23 toasters, brand new in boxes. Like, there was a lot of cool stuff, and there was also tons of garbage. So they found these. There was like 6 leather briefcases, and they were, these are quality briefcases. They're probably like couple $100 per briefcase, like nice suitcase type briefcases. And they kind of shook them, like,
don't do that. Don't shake it.
Like they thought like, oh, and they're locked. So they had to like,
you almost said that.
I almost did. So they're like, man, there's something in here. Maybe it's cash. Maybe it's, jewelry. Maybe it's, something cool. So they sit, this one guy's picking the lock because he doesn't want to damage the suitcase because it's a nice suitcase. You can resell that. And so he gets it open and I'm kind of like outside of the house and I was actually filming a video. And all of a sudden you hear this high pitched like scream, like a high pitched girly, like, and I like run inside. The workman, the worker, he had opened up the suitcase, reached in, and there were these, it was almost like rolled like cigars. He did. Rolled like cigars. It was poo.
They've just been pooping in the suitcase.
They've been not just pooping in the suitcases. They pooped in newspaper and they rolled it up and stacked it. Stacked it like cigars. So we basically reached in and it was a suitcase full of poo. They were all full of poo.
Why were they treasuring their poop?
Stackability, like Lego blocks. So anyway,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's the dirty side of the real estate world.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of you get the good and the bad. The bad would be poop.
Yeah.
Naked people.
We can add that back to the pros of hiring a property manager. You don't have to deal
with all that and the roaches.
Yeah.
We've gotten very good at because we get a lot of properties that have roaches and we got a handle on it now.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's a good time, Nina. And you can never look at
no day is ever the same.
It's true. And it's funny because now whenever we drive through someplace and we see a big like apartment complex, you think of it differently. You think of it differently.
I know. I do.
And there's certain ones in town even that we know about that we're not going to talk about where we're just like,
don't say
like
later.
That place has purple. So anyway, well, I hope this has been entertaining for people to watch and maybe learn a little bit about, what we do, what you do. I don't really do any of it. I just funnel people to you.
Yeah.
But you deal with all the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you need a good property manager, she's okay.
I try. I'm not that great.
Till next time, people, we're going to try to do this like, a couple times a month. Hey, if you want to hear about something, if you want us to talk about a certain subject.
So if you have a question.
Yeah, if you have a question, put it in the comments and we will talk about it next time. I'm thinking probably.
About Warrensburg, Warrensburg real estate, Warrensburg property management, Warrensburg Airbnb.
Yeah, twice a month we're going to do a live stream and we'll advertise it a lot better next time. But if you want to know about something, if you want us to address something. We didn't advertise it for like 15 minutes. We didn't. But yeah, let us know. Leave a comment in the chat box. Okay. Bye, guys. How do we end it?
Push the button. Oh, still going. Okay.